So I want to tell this story real quick.
That's true.
I was at the package store, and I was looking for
Package
something.
store?
The liquor store, as we call it, the package store out here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's different. I've never heard they called that. Anyway, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So
I won't sidetrack you.
I'm looking for like a nice, nice cider to drink, and I see all these crazy, like Huel type drinks, cans of crap, and I found this Grape-A-Rita. So tonight, I'll be drinking this Grape-A-Rita, and I'm sure it's going to be delicious.
Fucking awesome, dude. I was actually looking for something similar, and let me see. Now, I got two. There's which one should I do? It's the mango michelada made with clamato, or the what is this? Chelada tamarindo picante? I don't know. It's like a weird logo. I can't read it.
Do the mango one. That sounds more benign.
Oh man. All right, here we Oh no, I'm a little bit afraid to open this. Let's see what happens here.
Cheers to you, brother. Here comes the Grape-A-Rita.
Cheers. There you go. Clink.
Oh, that's not good.
Holy fuck. What is this?
It's clam juice, you dummy.
Who makes this? Who makes this and then who buys it? What the fuck? I knew this was going to happen too. Oh my God. I stood in front of that aisle I was on a phone call the whole time. I can't even tell you. For 21 minutes, 58 seconds. I was in that aisle trying to find something for 22 minutes. God, it's still in my mouth. Like the taste doesn't go away. Oh my God.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to finish it? Hey everybody, episode 56 of The Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that is slightly better than mediocre. I am your host, I am Rem. I am here, as always, with my new friend. The new Huel caused quite a shitstorm on Twitter with Chris O.C. I'm going to screw this one up, Ray, so I'm not even going to try. Ray, what's going on, pal? How you doing?
I thought maybe it would end right there.
No,
I
it's
don't know,
48
man.
seconds.
We'll get it down eventually. I'm doing well. I see you didn't screw that up. That was my bad. But yeah, I'm doing well. Definitely caused a shitstorm with the new Huel thing, which, it's been exactly a week since I changed that, and maybe I'll change it back at some point. We'll see.
If you want to talk to Chris O.C. again, you might. But we're starting out hot tonight, Ray. I don't like making my audience wait because they won't sit through my bullshit. So we have a guest tonight, a very special guest. I'm very excited to have him here. He does drugs. He has sex with things. From the NFHC podcast, it is Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing drugs, awesome. Not having sex with things,
Not having sex with things?
Well, not currently. Not at the moment.
Maybe we'll change that.
Okay.
I'll set some time aside to talk to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, pal. Thank you so much for coming on. We've never talked, just through voicemails. So this is exciting for me.
That's true. Our only conversations have been text or voicemails. So we've never had like a one-on-one conversation. That's weird.
But isn't that like the new world today? Is like all my friends, I have no in real life friends anymore because my one in real life friend is no longer my friend. He died on a canoe. But I mean, my best friend's in New York and I got Ray all the way out in California and that's it. So we don't talk to each other. We just text.
You're in you're in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to go hang out with our buddy Zwick. He's out there.
Yeah, I learned that when I did your show a couple weeks ago. He's down on the other side of the river. And he doesn't know this
Connecticut
yet.
like 5 minutes across?
It's more like about an hour across, hour top to bottom, hour across. It's a pain in the ass, it's all stupid highways and traffic. But you got a river that divides Connecticut in half. And anything on the east side of the river, they're all fucking weird out there. So I try not to go on that side of the river too much. But anyways, enough about me. And Ray, you're a new fan of the NFHC podcast, so feel free to jump in. But man, I've got a million questions. because, back on, I think it was episode 29, we had Alan on, and that was because, he bought our domain.
We became
dick.
friends because we're assholes.
That's right. And old Rem probably wouldn't have become friends, but I'm a new, mellower version of me, and I like assholes now, and I think you guys are fun. So, I never.
Is that why you joined Grindr?
Yeah, I'm willing to try anything, Ray. So, the NFHC podcast, why don't you tell my audience of 7 people more about it?
Well, if you ask me, it's just a bunch of nonsense. But we are the drunkest weekly update on all the things is our tagline. I don't really drink, but they do. They get pretty drunk. Mm-hmm. We watch dumb videos on the internet, react to them. Sometimes I review movies that I've never seen because I've never seen anything. I don't know. It's just it's me and 3 of my closest friends being total dickheads to each other, pretty much.
And what I love about
we're
that,
super mean to each other.
is I once did a show back between 2013 and 2015. We didn't do more than 15 episodes because it was just too hard to do. Or did I do more than 15, Ray? Do you remember?
No, I thought it was only like maybe even 10. It might have only been like maybe to 9 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't more than 10 or 15 at the most, but it was called Liquor Fueled, Dylan. And if you listen to our show, you may have heard a couple of the clips in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about it. You played like something from it recently.
Yeah. And I feel like the Not for Human Consumption podcast is what that show should have been. You guys do a much better job of keeping a show together and getting drunk and being with your friends. It's a great experience, and I have a great time listening to it. So I wanted to know. I'm fanboying out right now because I got this Grape-A-Rita shit. So now I never was able to ask Alan this because we were too busy talking about vasectomies and websites and stuff. But I get the feeling that the NFHC podcast started because Alan was a big fan of the Dick Show and decided, hey, we could do this. Am I on the right track there? Or was it somebody else's idea?
That's pretty much exactly what happened. He was a big fan of the Dick Show. I had just started getting into podcasts, but I listened to Joe Rogan and stuff, just more mainstream podcast stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was getting kind of into that. And I've been a musician forever, and I'm kind of getting not bored with it, but burnt out on it maybe. And he's like, we were all in a band together. All 4 of us are in a band together. And our practices would just be us talking shit to each other because it's what we do. We just constantly talk shit to each other. And he's like, we should start a podcast. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then we talked about it for probably way longer than we should have. And then I never thought it was actually going to happen because it's Alan. Alan's the I'll do it tomorrow guy. So he eventually bought all this shit and talked us into driving to his house, which is 45 miles from me every fucking week. Yeah, and we just did episode 79. We're doing 80 tomorrow, so somehow we've made it work and haven't missed a week.
See, that's great. And that's how I started, right? I was a fan of a podcast, and I said to my friend, which friend did I say it to, Ray? I said it to Jules first, and I never invited her on, but she decided to be my co-host. And then I got fit to figure it all out. But anyways, yeah, it was, it starts with a dream, Dylan, and you guys doing a great job. Now, you play, are you still playing in a band? I mean, do you guys still have the band you're playing in?
Our band is kind of on a weird hiatus, but that's just kind of the nature of that band. It's called Ghost Walk. It's kind of a chill, ambient, electronic rock band kind of thing.
So, okay.
Our singer just moved to Florida as soon as we released our CD. We released our first CD years ago. Our singer quit. We just have this weird thing that happens every time we put out an album. Our singer either quits or moves. So we're kind of, I don't know what's going on with it right now, but the podcast has kind of taken over all of our creative outlets. I actually quit. I was in 2 bands. I quit my other band yesterday.
Wow.
So
is this breaking
pretty
news?
Much, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they posted on the internet they're looking for a drummer, so yeah. So pretty much just doing podcast stuff now, and we started doing video last episode, and I've been the one doing all of that. So before we started this episode, I was actually editing down some clips of video for that kind of stuff. I'm learning how to do that.
Nice.
So I'm as I'm getting older, I like to play music, but being in a band is fucking like being with 5 wives who are all annoying as shit. And I just turned 32. I'm like, I don't want to fucking try to sell tickets to kids and fucking, it's dumb. Being in a band is stupid.
Can I tell you my band story? And don't make fun. I mean, you can make fun of me, but I would hope you don't, because we should respect each other as creators and artists.
I do have tons of respect for you.
Thanks.
Well, I'll make fun of both of you then.
Thank you,
cool.
Ray.
But
so
tell your story and then I'll make fun of you.
so my buddy from the Liquor Fueled podcast, Fit, we were best friends growing up, and then he moved away and he came back and we were friends again. He said he was taking guitar lessons, and he said they have this adult rock music program. Do you want to join with me? And I said, what the hell is that? He's like, well, you get in a band and you play music and you do a show and it's fun. I'm like, yeah, but I don't play any music. I don't play any instruments. He said, you can sing. And I said, Fit, fuck you, I can't sing. So anyways, I ended up being the singer of this band. and we did a few shows, and we were the only band in that stupid school that was able to play music without looking at the music. Like, we memorized all our parts because we're goddamn professionals.
Fucking professional.
Yeah. And then we branched out. We left the school. We stole some of the people. We made our own band for a couple of months, and we played one show at an actual bar. What was the band called? It was called, we never really had a name. We didn't, we couldn't come up with a name, and we only had.
Yeah, that's actually one of the hardest parts about being in a band, is coming up with a name. Not going to lie.
Yeah. But I taught myself how to play bass because they didn't want me to sing because I'm not very good. I can perform, but I'm not a singer. So I taught myself how to play bass so I could hang with my friends. And then the drummer broke her knee, and then my friend stopped talking to me, and I only talked to the drummer. Hot Drummer Newsbabe is a drummer from that band. And she's my only friend left. So your band Ghostwalk, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I was chatting with Matt one night, and he actually sent me some tunes from Ghostwalk. So I just want to say, I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to have those, but they sound amazing. It's really good stuff. I really like it.
Nobody makes money off music at this level of being a musician. I would love to just give it all for free and hope people enjoy it at this point. 'Cause I think Ghostwalk's great. I'm a fan of the band and I'm in it, and it's kind of a weird, when I first joined it, Matt pretty much wrote everything for it, and I just came in and played drums. And then we started writing together, and now I write a lot of the music, guitar, drums, all of it. So I have the experience of coming into it as a fan and not really having a lot of creative input to taking over a good chunk of it. So it's a cool project. I wish it was more active, but we're all fucking getting old, and it's hard to maintain that kind of lifestyle. I don't know. It's really hard to play shows all the time in front of your friends, because eventually your friends don't want to come see you anymore. So you know how it is building a fan base. Building a fan base for a podcast is fucking difficult.
We're still trying.
I'll definitely admit to being that friend. I've been that friend that they're like, hey, you want to come to our show? I'm like, yep. I go a couple times, and then I'm like, okay, you still want me to go? I've seen it. Yeah.
Luckily, Ghostwalk plays once every 3 years, so people actually do want to go see it when we play. But,
oh, nice.
Yeah, in Arizona, it's all about all the promoters here. When you play shows, they would just want you to sell tickets, so you have to do this stupid hustle of selling tickets to people, trying to meet up with people. Now the internet helps, you can buy them all online and shit, but before I used to drive across the state, and Arizona's fucking big, and deliver tickets to people at gas stations like drug deals. It was fucking terrible. To make $50.
Right.
Yeah. It cost me $300 in gas, but I made $50.
Yeah.
I'm the friend that says, yeah, I'll be there. Then I don't show up because I guess I'm an asshole. You said building a fan base, and it's funny that you mentioned that because, switching over, I used to do Torn Think Tank, which was the big show that we did, the World of Warcraft based show. And, at our peak, we had 3,000 downloads a week, which is fucking I'm like, wow, blown away by that. Yeah. And we started the Rich Dickman show, and I figure, yeah, I can get at least half of those back, right? They still follow me on Twitter. Nope, still at 7, 55 episodes later. Still at 7. How about you guys? Have you
5 of those are me?
Yeah, 5 of those are you. I mean, has the NFHC podcast seen significant growth over a period of time, or are you kind of still?
It was like us all being in bands, we know a lot of fucking people. So early episodes, we had decent numbers. And then if it's same thing, it falls off a little bit. Like your friends, they heard it and our early episodes sucked anyway. So it kind of dropped off for a while. And then we did that contest on the Dick Show against the Thought Cops to join the Cunt Network.
Yep.
And that was like huge boost in everything. That whole experience kind of pushed us way past where we probably should be at this point in doing it. Because I've done a lot of research on podcasts, and growth is very, very, very slow for pretty much everyone starting out, unless you have some kind of name going for you. So, the Dick Show has helped us a lot, kind of grow and get some of that fan base, and then we've branched out with our groups of friends who have told people. So it's pretty cool. Our listeners are great. Pretty much everything that we play now is submitted from the listeners.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun.
So it's cool. I think we intentionally made our show very interactive with the people to kind of make them feel like they're a part of it, because they really are. Like our Discord is always fucking crazy during our live stream. Like there's so much nonsense that gets posted in that thing, and it's kind of cool. I think that our fan base growth, that's helping it a lot, because people can like be involved and send their fucking dumb videos and post us on naked gay porn.
Yeah. Perfect. That's perfect. Hey, have you seen the How to Train Your Dragon 3 commercial on TV advertising the Blu-ray?
I have not.
No. Ray, have you seen it?
I have not, no. Okay. Not the full one, no.
All right. Well, the commercial advertising that it's on home video now, the voiceover is done by Coltrane. So, what the hell is your name? Dylan. Sorry. I blanked out. There is this gentleman who does actual Hollywood VO work. He does a lot of movie trailers. He's done like Muppets trailers and this How to Train Your Dragon one and many others. Before he became big, he was a big name in podcasting. He was our big break. We had him on our 6th episode, and from there our numbers exploded. So yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. Now, let's get into some real business. I'm going to ask you about this because I'm super curious. Midgets. Or dwarves, excuse me, or little people. How did that come about? And I know it was a Tinder thing. I'm more interested in the conversation.
This is like my fucking side note. Somebody joined our Discord today, and I'm like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a new listener." I'm like, "How'd you hear about us?" "Oh, you told the story about banging a midget on the Dick Show." Like, oh,
sorry, that's fascinating to me.
Well, at least it worked. So yeah, I matched with this girl on. It wasn't Tinder, but it was like it's this app called Hinge, which is actually a little better than Tinder.
Oh,
and I was like swiping through. I'm like, holy shit, I hope I match right now with this one. And I eventually got, like, she swiped on me, we matched. I'm like, fucking, I gotta pull this off. How do I pull this off?
So yeah, did you feel pressure, or were you like, you know what, I can do whatever I want, because if it doesn't work, I tried.
Yeah, I was pretty like straightforward the whole time. Like, I wasn't shy about my intentions, but not really saying that my intentions were only because she was a midget. Like, it was more of like, hey, you're cute, what's up? Let's have some fun kind of deal. Yeah. And I didn't tell anybody that it was like the conversation was even happening, because I'm like, I gotta keep this to myself. And then one night, randomly, she's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just hanging out at home. She's like, oh, you wanna hang out? I'm like, I mean, I don't want to go like hang out. Like, what do you mean? She's like, kind of, it was a little, you know what this is. So she's like, well, we can't do it at my house. I'm like, well, I'm not going to drive. She lives in Mesa, which is at least 35, 40 minutes from me. I'm like, I'm not going to drive all the way to Mesa, pick this girl up, drive her all the way back to my house, then drive all the way there. So I'm like, well, we can do this in the car if you're down with that. And she's like, yeah, totally. And then on the way there, she's like, me being little isn't going to be weird for you, right? It's like, fuck no, that's kind of like, that's like gonna make it way better. You're gonna make me look huge, I told her.
Oh man. Oh, baller move.
Which is not my normal way of handling Tinderings. I'm usually a little more respectful than that, but I figured I gotta go all in on this one.
Was she into that line, or did she?
Nice.
She just laughed, like she wasn't offended by it, so that was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a.
So is that like a front seat or like a back seat thing? Because I mean, I think you have a lot of flexibility there.
Well, she's pretty thick, so it was definitely a back seat thing.
Oh, okay.
But it was so weird. Like when I picked her up and she like had like the little kind of waddly walk. I'm like, what the fuck is my life? God damn it. Like, I'm only doing this because of the podcast. I'm like, it's 100% for the story. I'm such a piece of shit. Like, oh well, fuck it. And then we drove around looking for a place to park for a while. And Mesa's full of churches. And she said, just make sure you don't park at a church. So I parked at this church that she didn't realize was a church. And we
even better.
We did the deed in the church parking lot.
So you drove all that way to meet somebody, and I think you said in the podcast there was no kissing.
Yeah, there was not.
Okay.
It was kind of, I don't know.
Well, logistically, that's not so easy.
Yeah, that's true. It is not easy.
Yeah, and there was no money exchange, correct?
No. I mean, I told her she owed me $25, but she didn't
for
pay
gas.
It. Yeah. See, the best part was I drive Lyft on the side just for like extra cash and shit. So on I set my Lyft app to her place, so it would find me rides on the way there. So I like lifted people on the way there.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So I got paid to go there, kinda in a way.
Oh, nice.
So how long did it last?
Nice.
Was it just a couple minutes? Were you able to keep it going? I mean,
It was probably like 25, 30
wow.
minutes.
Jesus.
Damn.
Just for one session? I mean,
I had to get everything I could out of it, you know?
Yeah. And she was into it for all 25 minutes? I imagine. I mean, that feels like a long time to me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm old and married, dude. I got nothing.
I guess that's true.
We're married. The wives are like, is this, like, can I get back to my watching TV?
Maybe that's why I can't keep a girlfriend.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm just going way too long.
You might be doing it correctly, though. Now, have you talked to this little person since then, or has it been?
No, there was
silent?
never any contact after. It was
Not
very
even a
little
thank you?
contact before.
Wow.
No, I don't think we even spoke again afterwards. I don't think there was any more messages.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, it was kind of a perfect situation.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you like dream of, but usually you dream of them with a normal sized person.
Yeah.
But I'm a small dude, so it's not too bad.
You're lucky that you can tell your stories without incriminating yourself. You know, Huel was able to tell his stories without incriminating himself. You know, Ray and I were super boring because if we start telling stories, we're incriminating ourselves in things that we should not have been involved in. Could possibly lead to bad things. But
I'm pretty open about my bullshit.
Yeah.
On our show, and
That's
I
great.
wasn't. My last job, my boss listened to the show, and a lot of people that work there listened to the show. So I didn't ever say that I smoked weed. We had like code words for it that were like super, super obvious.
Right. Like you had a friend who goes and gets your weed for you instead. I don't know anybody does that. I assume that's what people might do.
It
Kind of
was
a dumb analogy, but whatever.
I think we were calling it smoking whiskey at first, and then I was trying to buy weed from Dave one time, and my phone auto-corrected it to marsupials, so that became the code word for a while. And then I quit my job, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do mushrooms and Molly on the weekends. Fuck you guys.
That sounds great. Now you're in Arizona. That's not a legal state, medical or recreational, correct? Or is it
medical? It is.
It is. Okay. So is your weed that you get, do you have a medical card, or do you get it from somebody who gets a medical grade? Or
it's all really good. Dude, you can't find bad weed anymore. It's impossible to find shitty weed. I haven't seen a seed in like 6 years. It's ridiculous. So I don't know if it's medical grade, but it's all pretty good. I get it from a guy, but I don't think he has his card. So it's kind of, I still do it the old fashioned way, you know?
Yeah.
It keeps it interesting, entertaining, and fun. I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
So I'm now mushrooms, Dylan. I've always tried to ask Huel to tell me what doing mushrooms is like, but he never really did. So would you be able to tell Ray and I what doing mushrooms is like? I feel like it's like a hallucinogenic, and I'll end up thinking I'm Superman and jumping out of my window.
No, so
that's the DARE program.
I was super scared to do them the first time, but I have a good friend who is really knowledgeable on it and knows me enough to know, like, do this much this time. And like, the first time I did it, I did like a half of a gram, which isn't shit. It's like smoking weed almost. Like you get, it's a little more intense than smoking weed. But I went out to a music festival with like 70,000 people. So it was like, it was a pretty interesting way to do it for the first time. But it wasn't what I thought in my head of what was making me nervous about it. Like, you kind of like build up an anticipation of what you think it's going to be, and it totally was not at all. So it was kind of like a real like body euphoria and lights and everything kind of brighten up. The most I've ever done is like a gram, so I've not even done like people do 2-3 grams and they really hallucinate. I've never hallucinated.
How do you measure the grams? Isn't it don't just eat the mushroom?
Yeah, you can weigh them like.
Oh, okay.
Scale.
Oh, I guess
I'm pretty. I'm pretty like particular about how I do them. Like it's more of I don't just like, I know people who just like buy them and just eat them right out of the bag. Like not, you know, I'm pretty meticulous about it in a weird way because I'm paranoid of having a bad time, even though I've never had a bad time on them.
I hear you.
But yeah, it's cool. Lights get like really bright. I always notice trees kind of move. Like if it's breezy, like trees have like it's so hard to explain, but it's you kind of feel like the vibe of it, and you're like part of it. It's fucking weird. I don't know. I sound like a hippie, but it's fucking.
Have
rad.
you ever had like a Big Lebowski trip?
No, I've not ever gone like.
Just curious. Like
the next time I do them, I'm gonna do more. I'm kind of building myself up to larger doses. I didn't want to just go all out the first time like an asshole and like ruin my time and not ever want to do it again. So I've slowly built up to more and more. So the next time I'll probably do enough to get quite a bit of the visual things going on. I'm excited about it.
Make sure you record it.
I've done mushrooms on the podcast one time, and it was so hard to sit in that goddamn room. I was giggly and just wanted to get up and walk around. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. This is such a bad idea. I feel restrained in this stupid chair.
How bad does that room smell at the end of the night?
Probably pretty bad, but I'm in it the whole time, so I don't know.
You're nose blind to it. Yeah, that's true.
Because it's just full of vape and smoke and dudes.
That's why I ask. It's not because I think Alan's an unclean person. I think he's very lovely. It's just, 4 dudes drinking, sweating, swearing, vaping, all sorts of debauchery going on. It can't smell very good.
Does swearing contribute to smell? See, these are things like all of that went right over my head.
Yeah, negativity is definitely bad smell, man.
Duh, Ray, get your shit together, man.
No, dude. Dylan, you might not know. I have no sense of smell.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm a
You're
bad
like
friend.
Dewey. You're like Dewey Cox.
I guess I don't know who that is.
That's that movie Walk Hard with.
Oh, yep, that's right.
I ain't got no sense of smell.
Yeah, I have no sense of smell. So there's like a bunch of stuff like that where I'm like, it's just completely over my head.
Dude, that's got to be weird as fuck because like you don't taste anything.
No, I do. See, that's the thing. So I still have taste buds on my tongue, so I still taste stuff. Obviously, things are going to be different. Your smell supplements the taste. So for sure, things aren't exactly, one for one. But just in general, like, Rem, don't feel bad. My mom all the time still asks me, she'll be like, hey, can you smell this milk? Like, is this bad? I'm like,
your mom
I'll just smell it and go,
that's great.
But she'll like hold the milk up and I'll sniff it and just look at her and shrug my shoulders. I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, oh, that's right, I forgot. So whatever, it happens.
Dylan, can you see Ray's camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Ray is 25% Asian.
Really?
Could you tell?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. And
No
he's
way.
married to a Mexican woman. And so
I only became 25% Asian like 6 months ago, though.
Would you do like a 23andMe or something?
Yeah. So the long story short is my sisters convinced my dad to take a DNA test because they were doing like
because they're assholes.
the family tree thing. They were doing like a family tree thing, and like some Asian people kept showing up, and they were like, "Why is this?" And so then they were like, "Can you take a DNA test?" He does it, comes back 50% Asian.
50%. Jesus.
Yeah, and yeah, it gets weird.
What part
But
of Asia?
Basically, actually Chinese.
Holy shit.
So apparently I'm 25% Chinese. So, and my sisters, they both took the DNA test and came back 25% Chinese or 24, whatever, right? But yeah, it turns out the neighbors were Chinese. So we've did the math and we're able to kind of, so basically my dad found out like when you, on the 23andMe, right? It lets you see who your relatives are, and people that were relatives of the neighbors were showing up. So he's like, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, so I'm 25% Asian, which, so my dad says he constantly tells this joke. He's like, man, I've been abusing my white privilege this whole time too.
That's a lot of Chinese.
Yeah.
That's a quarter of you.
His driving.
Like,
So, oh yeah, no, for sure. Well, and that's what, like, I always tell my dad that explains his driving, and that's why he was a CPA for so long.
and you could say that because you're Asian. It's fucking awesome.
And so, dude, I take my kids for a bike ride yesterday, day before yesterday, and they're going right, and the older one, she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go in front of you, sister," and she just speeds up like one stronger pedal, and then veers right in front of her, and they crash into each other, right? And I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's the 12.5% Asian." I was like, yeah. So I knocked that at him right away. And then, the other, 70 something percent, almost 80% is going to be good drivers.
Yeah.
They learn quick.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't take long. They didn't crash into each other the rest of the ride. We went like a couple miles. So
when you get naked, does your penis auto blur like in Asian porn?
Auto blur.
Does it like get pixelated?
It shows everything. It shows his asshole and everything, but no penis. That just gets pixelated. Yeah.
I don't really look at it when I get naked.
Well, you can't smell it, so what's the point of looking at it?
Yeah, I know, dude. That's one of those. Yeah, dude. I got so many smell questions. Like, it's not even funny, man. Like if I'm just walking around, right? If I'm like say 100 yards from you guys, and I just rip a fat one and I walk 100 yards to you guys. Does the fart like linger and follow you that long?
Oh, that's right. You don't know how farts work.
I have no
100
idea.
yards, I don't think so.
Yeah, you got to be within.
That's quite a ways.
Within 5 feet, or if you're in a closed room, like a 10-foot, 12-foot square closed room, and it would.
Yeah, because if you walk away, some of it will like waft with you, I'm sure.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, it's going to stick in your clothes a little bit or something,
no,
right?
No,
Yeah,
because 100 yards, I mean, if you put your nose right up to his jeans, I mean, maybe, but 100 yards it's a long way to walk. I mean, you're not going to, if you rip a fart and you can just walk right next to the person, yeah, you can bring it with you, but 100 yards is quite a bit.
Well, so my office, this is how it works when I'm at work. Like my office, I got two doors I can walk out, like 5 feet, right? I'm around the other side of the wall, go out in the warehouse. I can just go out there and rip them, right? But obviously I'm a little conscious about it because I don't want to just rip a fart in there and be like, hey, yeah, that was me. I don't care. You guys got to fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? Like that's a little too mean, but yeah, so I'll like go out there, be like, yeah, I got to make a phone call. Just walk out there, like, just let it all out, walk back in. But it's like, maybe I should I like wait 30 seconds before I come in, wait 5 minutes? That's the thing. Like, these are things I have no idea about.
30 seconds is probably like, that's a respectable amount. Maybe even a little, that's like overly respectful even, probably.
Well, cause see, and this is like, on the one hand, it's me being considerate, right? Because obviously it doesn't bother me. But if I go out there, rip a massive fart and walk right back in and it just follows me in, well, then what was the point of walking out? I might as well just sit there and just fall over the place and be like,
it's just work, right? I would just stay there anyway.
Right. You know what also happens, Ray, is like if you're sitting in a chair for a long time and you're just like farting into that chair, you'll create like a fart box, like an invisible fart box.
Like a fart bomb.
And you'll sit there and you'll smell it like the rest of the day. And other people who get near you, they'll start to smell it because it absorbs into the chair.
I have a story about something like that. Back when I was a younger gentleman, me and a friend were in this band, and our guitar player was 17. I think I was like 20 or so, 19, 20, 21 at the time. So our guitarist, he was a Korean like prodigy. He was like amazing guitar player, out of control. But he was...
Yes, he's Asian.
Oh, yeah, he was a little cocky bitch. But he was a great, talented musician. And his dad was he was adopted, but his dad was very... he pushed him hard to be, do music and stuff. So we got to tour and stuff when we were in this band. And it was all funded by his dad, and he got us hotels every night. It was, really spoiled touring. Because usually you sleep in a car, and it's miserable. But the van that he drove for our tours... he would just rip nasty ass farts in that chair, constantly, all the time. It was he thought it was fucking hilarious, and he had dad jokes, and they included lots of farts. But there were times where he would move around in the seat, and the smell of that seat would just fill this fucking van, and it wasn't even a passenger van; it was a cargo van, so. There was two front seats, and then it had this little tiny fucking, the smallest seat possible, behind the front seats, and then cargo van. So there's a wall there. Chair? Yeah, there's two captain's chairs, and then a 90-degree pad.
Oh yeah.
And then
it kind of folds up almost.
Yeah, and then there's a wall behind you because you're supposed to put cargo in the back, and they don't want it to hit people. So it's the most uncomfortable bullshit, and it's tightly crammed. So he would just fucking load this van full of terrible old man smell.
So you're saying that basically his seat was a scratch and sniff. So whenever he moved around, it's just
if you
fart, scratch and sniff.
It had shit particles in it. There's no way it didn't. It had to. If you hit it with something, the air would fill with his ass smell. It was fucking gross.
Yeah. It's like when you have an old carpet and you throw it outside and you beat it with a bat and all the dust comes out. It's kind of like that with shit particles and fart dust, just.
And you don't even know what bad smell is.
Yeah. That's crazy. He has no idea.
I have no idea.
It's explaining color to somebody. That doesn't. There's no way to even give you any reference. That's fucking weird, man.
And that's because I've never been able to smell. So it's not, exactly. I have no reference.
And your wife could fart in front of you all she wants, and you would never be grossed out by it. That's incredible. Yep. All right. So Dylan, I have to apologize. And since you're here as a representative of your podcast, Not for Human Consumption, I would like to apologize to you and everybody on the show. Man, I had a joke here and I can't remember what it is now. Shit. But anyways, I have a real apology. I have to apologize for Ray getting a little out of sorts on your voicemails on your last episode.
He's fine. Fuck those guys.
Well, hold on. They're my new friends.
I brought my backup. I brought my backup, Rem. Surprise attack.
Ray, you have to forgive me for a second here, Ray, because I came up in podcasting with a co-host who got very upset with me when I decided to ruffle a few feathers on other podcasts. All right. I got yelled at.
Did I ruffle feathers?
I don't know what you did. I just want to make sure that these guys are still my friends. I don't care if they like you or not. I just want them to like me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I see where you're going.
So to Dylan and to the Alan and Dave and Matt, I apologize for Ray's behavior, and it shouldn't happen again. Thank you.
I hope it does.
I'm going to call him right now.
I hope it does happen all the time because, for one, fuck those guys. I don't give a shit if they're upset. Why does that matter to me? All they do is talk shit to me. So I think our show can dish it out and take it very well. So if you want to call in and tell Matt he's a fucking idiot, by all means, more people should tell Matt he's an idiot because nobody ever fucking does. Because he's usually right, that stupid asshole.
Well, I will say, everyone on the entire podcast seems like really good guys. That's for sure. I will say, I went back and tried to listen to it because Matt and I started getting into it a little bit on Twitter, and I was like, I don't want to fucking do all this on Twitter. I was like, I'll just call the voicemail. Maybe he'll be able to say something. It'll just be a little quicker. So I just called, just something about Avengers. Not really that big.
I had
deal.
to like earmuffs myself for most of that because there is spoilers and I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Well, they told it, because me and Dave both like, hey, we haven't even fucking seen this. Like, well, there's going to be spoilers in this conversation, so.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess I'm not going to play this voicemail.
So I won't.
Shit.
Okay, well, I won't.
You
won't
can.
give
I
you
don't
the
care.
spoilers. But actually, I thought I had a pretty funny line when I talked about that. I was like, no spoilers. And I was like, and when they, and then just fucking, I thought it was funny. Literally spoiling the next sentence, like 2 words. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Anyway, but like you guys kept pausing it every like 2 seconds and talking over it the whole time. So I was like, you're not even, you can't even make a rebuttal. But anyway, whatever.
Ray,
see,
you can do what you want. It's your own.
Matt is in control of all of that, and he was the one that was against you. So
yeah, exactly.
He's gonna control the situation. He's not gonna make himself look bad. But
well, then let's throw down the gauntlet right now. He can call in here, give me a voicemail to work with, and then we'll see how he likes it.
Ray,
I'll tell him.
I have a voicemail from Matt.
Oh, do you?
I do, and I'm just with Dylan here. And if you're okay with a possible spoiler or two, Dylan,
that's fine. I don't give a shit.
Dylan,
I'm not going to see that movie for like 3 years.
I feel like if you were my friend in real life, I'd call you Dildo a lot, and I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's welcome to 3rd grade.
Exactly. All right. So here's this voicemail from Matt, Ray. Okay, and if you need me to stop it, just tell me to stop it.
All right. Look, Ray. Matt, NFHC podcast, not for human consumption. You're going to fucking sit here and tell me at the end of Avengers Endgame that you're pissed off that it takes, 18 minutes possibly? I think it's less. You said 30 minutes. I'll give it 18. I think it was 12.
We came up with arbitrarily 30 minutes, whatever.
Okay.
But listen, you're going to sit there and be mad that it took that long for all the Avengers to assemble through the portals to come fucking fuck up Thanos? Are you fucking kidding me? That was a big fucking plot hole in the movie. All these motherfuckers rematerializing back together. Strange is the only one that knows what the fuck is going on because he saw all the fucking outcomes. Every other Avenger that vanished in the fucking Wakandan battle.
Okay, hold on a fucking second.
Okay.
You're saying Doctor Strange is the only one that saw what was going on? Well, then why, if he already knows what the fuck is going to happen, why does it take him 18 minutes to get everyone? He should already know. He knows where everyone's at. Boom, boom, boom. Done.
I think there's a lot of people, Ray, who are being brought back to life who need to get their gear together and, realize that they're leaving Wakanda and going to New York and a whole bunch of weird things. I think 18 minutes is too quick, but all right.
But they were already fighting Thanos.
Right. All right. Look, can I play this now? Just tell me when to stop it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sitting there, rematerializing in the fucking woods, being like, what the fuck happened? They don't know 5 years passed. They don't know shit.
Rematerializing
It took
in the woods.
Strange
Sounds like a Tuesday night for me.
an epic amount of effort to contact all those hoes. He had to get back from the planet he was on.
Yeah, epic amount of effort. They're superheroes.
I don't know the fucking name of Thanos' planet. I don't care.
It's Titan.
It takes that motherfucker like the ancient one that did the little swirly hand, 7 seconds to make a 2-person portal on the same planet.
I hope he
I'm
gets
sure
cut
it's
off on the
gonna take
voicemail.
a little bit to contract
and has to call
everybody.
back.
Come on, man. And then you're saying that they're not going to be confused. For real? That's just ridiculous. Everybody's going to be confused coming back. Some people were having sex, just vanish, and then they're going to come back. There's going to be nobody under them. They're just going to come all over the floor. Wall, bed. Maybe on another family that moved into the new house, because 5 years have passed. Come on, New Huel. You gotta think about this shit, man.
He's obviously thought about it a lot longer than I have.
Rem is a gem, but
Your
he
opponent
might have
didn't
backed
know
the
it.
wrong new co-host. I don't know. Love
Oh
you,
shit!
bye.
Wow.
Oh damn!
Wow. That's some hard
Over
words,
one-
Ray. Matt, I'm sorry for his
One
behavior.
Scene.
See, what you need to understand about Matt and our show is shit talking is just the fucking way of life. So he might sound a little bitter and upset, but really he's just waiting for you to come back with something. He wants you to play his game, and he's a hard one to argue with because he won't ever admit when he's wrong. Yeah, fuck you, Matt. I said it. I argue with him all the time.
I know.
So,
well, I just opened this Shalata Tamarind Picante. Ugh. That last one, fucking A, man, that's disgusting. Ugh. But maybe by the end of this drink, I'll just be yelling, "Get your shit together, Matt."
Do you want me to invite Matt on the show, Ray, and you two can yell at each other for half an hour?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, Matt needs to go on some more shows.
Yeah, you can get his ass out there. God, he
seems like a good guy. I mean,
they're all good guys.
About this, but he's a good guy.
He's all right.
Dylan, you going to Vegas?
Yes. The Dick Show Road Rage Vegas.
Are you a Dick Show fan now, or are you just kind of like? I
listen here and there.
Yeah, so I'm a Dick Show.
Fan. I don't agree with a lot of things that are said on that show, but I'm a rational human being, and I can hear differing opinions and not lose my shit about it.
Oh man, that's so refreshing to hear. Have you ever been? Have you ever? I'm sure you have. Have you been to the border lately down in Arizona? Is it a mess? Is it a lawless wasteland, or what's going on?
That's like fucking 4 hours away. I don't go.
Oh, is it really?
There's no reason to go down there. You have to go through Tucson and shit, and Tucson's the fucking worst. I'm not going to go there.
No, okay.
I have no business there. Arizona is a fucking wonderful place, and I don't know. The problem is old white people more than it is.
Well, Jesus,
people coming across the border.
Okay, we try to keep we love all people of all races. We're not racist on this show.
We have large retirement communities in Arizona, so it's a lot of golf courses and golf carts and Cadillacs.
That's amazing. Ray, were you saying something? I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
I was about to say I'm only 75% offended that you're making fun of white people.
That's right, because you're like 25% Chinese, and you got Mexican by marriage, and you're something of everything else. So I don't even know what
cultured.
Yeah.
Cultured.
I have a very diverse podcast between my Mexican Huel and my Asian Ray. And it's good. Diversity is our strength. Dylan,
I'm white as shit, so
can't say that with a straight face.
It was so awesome. It was so awesome when we could just have fun and joke with each other and not care. Chappelle's show couldn't be put on the air now.
You know what? Well, nowadays, here's the one serious point that I'll try and make. Nowadays, everyone's trying to group people into groups.
Yeah, labels.
So there was that tweet that I retweeted earlier today where the person said something like the KKK was founded by Democrats. I'm like, wait, so you mean that they put it up for vote and all the Democrats across the whole nation voted on it? And we're like, yeah, like, no, it wasn't founded by Democrats or Republicans or what. It was founded by racists.
Oh, fucking racist.
Like, you know what I mean? They're not a political party. They're racist.
No.
They don't are you serious? Don't try and lump people into these huge groups and call like one political party this or what, it's not that way.
Yeah.
Like you got to understand. So anyway, people are crazy.
What we can do is we can label all the four guys on the NFHC podcast as really cool bros.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Boom. You like that?
Me and Dave were going to run for office, but I realized I'm not old enough yet to do it. We had our whole campaign was we can fuck hookers too. We were alt center.
Nice.
Alt center. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, God bless you. Cheers to you, friend. Dylan, so tell us where we can listen to you on a weekly basis and where we can find you possibly on social media.
Everywhere at NFHC Podcast, NFHCpodcast.com, Patreon.com/NFHC Podcast. Like we have our tiers for patrons and shit. Live stream when we do our episodes and bonus episodes and all that good stuff, which me and you need to do a bonus episode soon whenever you are ready to do it.
I am ready. Tell me when. I'd prefer the weekend.
We got to talk about our planet.
Yes, I'm on board.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, just send me the deets and how long you want to go and what day of the week you're looking at. I'll make it work, buddy.
I think I'm free this weekend if you are.
I think I might be as well. I might be.
Yeah, let's we'll work
All
it
right.
out off this. But yeah, anywhere at NFHC podcast, our name's pretty easy, and we got all of the domains, so there's there's no weird ones.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to steal one of yours, ass. You know what's weird, Dylan? I'm talking to you, and I don't hear the music in the background, and it's kind of freaking me out.
Dude, sometimes in my normal life, and I'm having conversations with friends, I'm like, damn, I wish I had some of that like chill hop background music to fucking lighten the mood up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Dylan, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for
it's
having
been fun
me.
talking to you, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'm sure this rivalry is going to get heated about this endgame stuff, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of interaction between us two.
I think.
Well, once you
go ahead, Ray.
Once you get a chance to see it, then you'll be able to chime into it. And obviously, take my side because I'm correct.
Yeah, and there's a whole ensemble to be had, between different podcasts coming up with all the scenarios that could have happened for people who were snapped away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yep.
All right, Dylan, thanks so much.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on. It was good chatting with you.
Thank you, guys.
Love you, boo. Peace.
See ya. I've been having to mute my burps. Dude, they probably smell like shit. Not like I would know, but goddamn, they taste bad. This shit is disgusting. For a minute there, I thought I got halfway through this mango one.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if I finish this, I might feel like I have to actually throw up. Like, actually feel like I need to throw up.
That would be funny. I did that once.
Well, for you, I know you like that.
So Dylan's a nice guy.
Yep. Absolutely. Especially since he took my side on one little point there.
Yeah, you feel better now? All right.
Well, I don't need the support. I know I'm right. When you know you're right, you know you're right.
All right, buddy. All right, calm down. All right. So you were kind enough to clip a couple more liquor-fueled clips this week.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I put them in order for 5, 6, and 7, or 6, 7, and 8, whatever the numbers were.
Perfect.
So you want me to play them in that order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Do you want to introduce these clips?
I can. Do you have the names of them on there still? Or no?
I don't have the extended name. I just have the...
Okay, so let me look up what I called them. The first one I called Drunk Popcorn.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember exactly what it's. Drunk Popcorn. Here you go. Whoosh.
What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
You're supposed to drink it.
I'm drunk. I need to work tomorrow. I have to go to work tomorrow. I need to go to bed after this.
Dude, this is not my problem. I don't want to hear your whining and complaints every single time we do this.
You're cackling in the background.
Let's do like a 7-hour podcast tonight where Rem very meticulously tries to put together his Mega Block set.
I've put things together with Rem before.
Huel, do you have your popcorn maker handy?
You know what? God damn it, I forgot. I went out and I bought the fucking popcorn machine and then I completely forgot about it.
I remember that we had my mom gave us a popcorn maker. And so I thought it'd be funny to make popcorn on a podcast. And we did. And so I remember Fit just sitting there just eating the rest of this popcorn while trying to do a show.
Oh, you describing what he was doing and him, obviously doing whatever you were saying, but the back and forth of arguing with one another about how much to use and him being like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean?
You gotta clip that for next week, buddy.
We'll see.
All right. You want to do the next one or do you want me to just play it?
Yeah. So the next one is shortly after this, which probably includes some of that, though, what I was just talking about. But this one's called the Sex Dungeon.
Oh, Jesus.
Your sex dungeon is a little too small for my taste.
Listen, we're going to be moving into that room in a couple months.
We need a bigger sex dungeon. That's what we need.
Yeah, the sex dungeon's going to get bigger in a couple months when we remodel. Okay, show the camera. Can
I move back
I'm
over?
Sorry.
Can I?
I'm sorry. I'm
Jesus.
drunk. I don't know what's going on.
God, you are so drunk.
Do you need me to run upstairs and get the popcorn?
This is only like an hour into the show, by the way.
No, you don't have to, Huel. You can get it next week.
And Orville Redenbacher's Popping and Topping Buttery Flavor Popcorn Oil. I love Orville Redenbacher's. Goes great with Ocean Spray's 100% cranberry juice. Now with even more popcorn flavor.
It's like a commercial.
when he would, after he would warm up, it was just the best with him. Oh yes. Man. All right. And now the last clip is about 2 minutes long. What's that?
This is, where you become Susan.
Oh, the same Susan.
You can only imagine where this goes.
Fuel, I'm going to be Susan. Hi, Celestalon. I'm here for my performance review. I don't understand really why, because it's only been 6 hours, but,
well, at Blizzard, we do things different, Susan. We do things different at Blizzard. So come, Susan, let's have this be casual. It's not just I'm your boss.
Do you always flap your arms when you talk? I don't understand what's going on.
Don't start, Susan. Don't start. It's not a good start to your tenure at Blizzard.
Okay.
If you stay 10 years, you get a Frostmourne. Did you know that? Did they tell you that during the interview?
What's a Frostmourne?
It's a sword.
Are you sexually harassing me?
Guess where I keep your Frostmourne? Do you want to go?
I'm the head of HR. That's why you hired me. I can file claims against you. I don't understand.
Why? Susan. I'm not comfortable with that tone, Susan. Let's take it down a notch.
Okay.
Let's all just sit down. I'm not your boss. You're not my vulnerable employee.
No.
You're just a lady. I'm just a space bird. We're just talking right now, Susan.
All right. I still don't understand why a performance review is 6 hours into my first day in the job. I don't understand.
We'll sit down.
Okay.
We'll go over.
Hey, do you know where the cafeteria is, by the way? I'm getting hungry.
You know what? Just pause it. He knows how to sexually harass a woman.
He just has so many good parts.
It's like it's not his first time.
I know.
All right, here we go.
I got something for you, Susan. Now, it's funny that we got hot kielbasa, and it's turkey. Okay. It's turkey kielbasa.
Again, head of HR, settle down, Celestalon. This is ridiculous.
Why is Susan so manly?
Well, listen,
why is Celestalon have a higher pitched voice than Susan?
Okay, I can't anymore. This is going to go places that we don't want it to go.
Last liquor fueled ever.
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't the last liquor fuel. That one is called Blackout. Maddie, if you have those files, open the fucking computer, text Ray on Discord, and find out what the secret is, because we need those.
Yeah, I gotta get into that.
I have little content. I have to replay these liquor fueled episodes to add more minutes to the show until Ray gets good at podcasting. I'm just kidding, Ray. I'm sorry. I'm feeling it.
I'm right here.
Oh, you can nominate me for Dick of the Week. All right.
No, that's a good joke. I like that one.
Ray, thank you. I really appreciate you clipping those every week. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to look down
work.
memory lane. And if you keep it at about
it is for me too.
3-4 minutes a show, we can drag this shit out with the two episodes we have for the next, at least your next 10 episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You want to do Dick of the Week?
Oh, absolutely. This is kind of like the highlight.
All right. So first of all, excuse me, I would like to nominate a Dick of the Week myself. Ray, this week, old Remgar here is going to nominate you, Ray, at Jules Winfeld, as Dick of the Week.
Uh-oh.
Ray, you're fucking up, Ray. Okay. You don't call other podcasts without my permission or my knowledge and start a beef. You don't start a Twitter war and then go on and call their voicemail, start a beef. You're embarrassing me in front of my new friends who I want to impress. You heard Dylan. Their audience is growing by leaps and bounds. I want to grow by leaps and bounds as well. I'm tired of just having 7 audience members, sometimes 8, sometimes 6. I'm tired. I am better than that, Ray. I used to have 3,000 downloads. 3,000 downloads a week to listen to me spout off bullshit about feeling better about yourself. All right. We do a good, funny, topical show. And we deserve, Ray, deserve more than 7 listeners a week, 2 of which are you and I. So if you put my friendship, if you put my sucking of the dick of NFHC in jeopardy, you and I are going to have a lot of, have words, my friend.
That's fine.
Okay.
What if we have a dick sucking contest?
Ray, what's wrong with you?
Where I try and go to
Yes, I like where you're going.
Shill the podcast on another podcast, and we see who can get more listeners.
Why don't you try like the Thought Cops or something?
Okay, we'll see. I'll do some research.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking it would be kind of funny to do something like that on like Tinder. See which of us could get use the other person's picture and create a profile, and see who can get more like matches or something like that.
You gotta use a decent picture of me. I'm very ugly.
Well, but that's what I said. That's the whole like. Anyway, yeah.
All right, so
we could work that one out.
You're our first nomination for Dick of the Week until you shill on another podcast. All right, we got Svenson. Svenson called in. Here we go.
Hello to the Rich Dickman Show. This is Svenson here, and I have a Dick of the
He's
Week
gonna nominate me again.
nomination. This week is a guy that was being a total dick at a Dollar Tree store that I went to. Here's the story. I went to a Dollar Tree, just to get some stuff. And I'm standing at the register about to pay for my stuff when I hear this loud commotion. And some 30-something-year-old punk starts screaming at this 70-year-old lady at the top of his lungs. And he's saying stuff like calling her just nasty names. And then he said something like, if you were a man, I would have knocked you out already. That got my attention, and I had to try to step in. So I'm telling the lady at the register, hurry up with the change. I'm going to go see what's going on over here. And I yelled at the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm a dude. Can I help you? And the dude looks at me and then runs out the store. Seriously, punks like that are just horrible for this world. I have no idea what the heck the lady said to the dude that made him go off like a 3-year-old throwing a tantrum. But if you had a...
Hold up. He doesn't know what the lady said to the dude. That lady may have been a total bitch to that dude. Like, that dude probably came and said, hello, ma'am, how are you today? And she's like, son, don't you talk to me like that. I will fuck you up. I have lived 2 times a life in this one life of mine. I have a war veteran. She could have been like a real total bitch to him. So, I mean, Svenson, before you judge, man, you gotta know what the situation is. Are you ready? I'm gonna keep going.
The problem with the lady, you should have just left the store in the first place. Now you're going to try to act all big and bad and tough with a 70-year-old lady, but when a real guy steps up to you, you're going to run. Anyway, that's my nomination for Dick of the Week. Keep up the good work, guys, and take care.
Thanks, Svenson.
Sounds more like a pussy of the week. See what I did there?
Do you want to do the Svenson Dick of the Week for?
Yeah, so I'm going to nominate Svenson again because you probably still have Randy blocked. I mean, come on, Svenson. Come on. You got it. I haven't seen any proof that you've unblocked him. So until I see some proof, repeatedly, week in and week out, Dick of the Week. That's you. Although I love you. I love you, Svenson and Randy.
I am going to nominate a second Dick of the Week, and now that you mentioned that, and it's Randy. I haven't fucking heard from Randy since he sent me the Discord link, bit.do/TRDS1. Otherwise, I haven't heard from Randy. Like, Randy went like 3 weeks straight after Huel left, texting me every day, let me know what he was doing and working on stuff, and I haven't heard from him. So, Randy, you're Dick of the Week, but I hope you're okay. Let me know, buddy.
He's probably just pissed because Svenson's blocked him. See what you're doing, Svenson? See what you're doing?
Ultimately, what are we doing, Ray? We're tearing people apart. If we didn't bring light to this subject, nobody would know.
Bringing them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't like how you did this. God damn it, Ray. The links. Hold on.
Oh, see, that was because I had to do it on my phone. Sorry. I was like,
Ray, if you can't do it,
I couldn't.
Just don't do it. Just tell me.
You said link. I did the link. Hey, so I got to figure. I can do it if I'll get it better next week.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't. Anyway.
Okay, Ray, this is what, your 3rd episode? You have 7 left to impress Rich Dickman. So, get your shit together. All right. Another nomination for Dick of the Week. This is from the Tribune Media Wire, reported on Fox 61. Hold on, I have to clear my throat. Healthy dog euthanized to fulfill late owner's wish of burial with her pet. From Richmond, Virginia, over the protests of shelter workers, a healthy dog was euthanized so she could be buried with her dead owner in accordance with the Virginia woman's will, according to WWBT. The Shih Tzu named Emma was temporarily placed at the Chesterfield Animal Shelter, where staff members tried for 2 weeks to talk to the executor of the will out of putting the dog down. Carrie Jones, a manager at Chesterfield Animal Services, told WWBT that Emma would have been easy to place in a new home, but the person carrying out her late owner's last wishes came back for the dog on March 22nd. Emma was euthanized at an area veterinarian's office and then cremated. The local news station reports that Emma's ashes were given to the representative of the estate. Virginia law sees dogs as personal property, and while it isn't illegal to euthanize a healthy pet, ethical considerations may prevent vets from performing the procedure. Jesus Christ, first of all, I wish I could legally euthanize my dog because fuck him. He's an annoying piece of shit. But Jesus, this is crazy. A woman wanted her dog buried with her, so they cremated the healthy dog.
Psycho. Fucking psycho.
She's dead.
Oh my God.
She doesn't know the dog's there or not. I'm sorry. Why are we doing this? This is crazy.
What's next? Where do you draw the line? Do you literally just let people take any pet with them? And then, man, I don't know. There's gotta be like, some sort of line you draw that says, okay,
well,
you can put stuff in the casket, like memorabilia, but no other organic object. Or something like that.
Virginia fucking classifies dogs as personal property. And while that's true, let's forget the law for a second. This woman's family who decided this was a good idea. I mean, if my crazy grandmother said, I want to be buried with my kitchen sink, I would kind of be like, you know what? We don't really have to bury her with a kitchen sink. You know, we can kind of just move past that one.
So you don't believe it? She's not going to come back and haunt you?
No, I do not believe that at all.
Or you'll die in a tragic sink falling out of some building.
Tragic sink accident. Yeah, I was out. I was changing my sink. I was changing my faucet, and I was down below, and just magically it shrunk a little bit and fell on my face and crushed me.
It's like Final Destination, man.
All right, so let's keep that one in mind. We have our last nomination for Dick of the Week, unless you think of one more. Again, from the Tribune Media Wire, because that's where I see all these news stories. Let me try my best announcer voice, okay? Let me know how it is.
You like what I did with the link there already?
Yes, it was perfect. Thank you. A fucking IT guy, man. Way better than Huel. Taco Bell employee fired after Islamophobic rant goes viral. From Bridgeton, Missouri, a Taco Bell employee lost her job after her profanity-laced tirade against a customer went viral. The incident happened at the restaurant along St. Charles Rock Road in Bridgeton, Missouri. Tarek Hamdan, man, what the, Tarek Hamdan, man? Oh, Jesus, they need editors here. All right. Tarek Hamdan went to the Taco Bell drive-thru to get a meal just before his Ramadan fast. When Hamdan pulled up to the window, he was met by an employee spouting anti-Muslim language and profanity, as well as insinuating that all Muslims were terrorists. Hamdan patiently attempted to tell the employee that he hated terrorists as well, but to no avail. Hamdan recorded the encounter and posted it online. Let's see.
Can you play that clip?
Yep. Oh, I gotta wait for an ad. Let's see here.
As you might expect, a big backlash over this deal. Let me show you. Basically, what happened is a Muslim man, Tarek Hamdan,
sounds a little bit like
to this Taco Bell restaurant. It is in Bridgeton here, and basically he was getting some food before starting the Ramadan.
Monsters. Those people are
the rant.
Here we go.
Those people are monsters. Those people are disgusting. Those are the people that make the religion look bad.
I'm going to tell you right now, until you call me and change my mind,
she's drunk. She's drunk.
Yeah.
That's how you feel about me, though?
My country. They killed thousands of my people.
What's your reaction to it?
Wow.
I'm deeply...
Wowzers. I did not watch that clip. That woman was very, I'm going to say it. I don't care who I offend. It was very white trash and drunk.
Yeah. I didn't watch the clip, but yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I can see a picture, and she doesn't look like a very, very upstanding citizen.
Like, listen,
obviously.
people, I know we're in this weird social media age where you feel like it's okay to give your opinions on everything. It is not okay to give your opinions on everything. All right. If you have a podcast, sure, give your opinions on a podcast. And if you have an anonymous Twitter account, go ahead. I don't care. Nobody gives a shit. But if you have opinions about people and you feel like you need to tell them to their face, you know what? Don't. Swallow that back inside of you. Hold it. Keep it there, because nobody needs to hear your bullshit. Whatever it is, nobody needs to hear it. Nobody needs to hear about your bad day. Nobody needs to hear about your racism. Nobody needs to hear about your sexism. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking to people. Real life is not social media. Right, Ray? Come on. You got to agree with me here.
I actually disagree, and here's why. Because I like knowing who these people are. She's obviously racist. I mean, there's no question about it. But you hope that somebody in the Taco Bell management system follows up and makes sure that whenever she applies for the next job, like, she should be fired, right?
Hold on.
I mean, it says she lost her job, but it should definitely be fired.
She is allowed to have beliefs as wrong as they are. That's what's great about this country. We can have the worst beliefs in the world. We should be allowed to have them. And she should be allowed to keep those beliefs to herself. She should be allowed to even talk about those beliefs. But if she's going to like try to harm somebody or verbally insult them, well, that's a different level. She shouldn't be doing that. So if this racist woman wants to have these racist beliefs and keep them to herself, and she should be allowed to have employment wherever she wants, as long as she's not causing trouble.
Well, that's true. Yes. Now, here's the thing. Freedom of speech. She can say whatever she wants as long as it doesn't harm somebody. But when does it become harmful? We know so little about mental health that the reality is like, I could just say like, hey, you look okay today, or something like that. And all of a sudden it's offensive because you're like, I thought I looked great.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck,
you know what I mean?
Fuck people with mental health issues.
Where do you draw the line?
I shouldn't say that. That's wrong. I shouldn't say. People actually have real issues. The people who pretend to have mental health issues and make it their,
yes.
and make it your problem.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a gray area. So you can't actually say that you don't know where that line is to cross as far as offending someone with your words, unless this is obvious. She's saying she hates somebody because of their skin color or where they're from or whatever. That's obviously, that's not cool.
Right.
But I mean, you can still voice your opinions. Obviously you shouldn't be doing it there, and you fire them, but I'm fine with people voicing their opinions. Freedom of speech.
Yeah. You know what? And people can voice their opinions all they want, but just real life is not social media. Use that filter. You have a controversial opinion. You know it's controversial. Come on. Just keep it to yourself. Let's just go on, because nobody has time. Nobody has time for the bullshit. We're all busy. We all got shit to do. Life is too short. We're fucking dying every day, man. Just gotta move on. I feel like I'm all over the place.
Getting all existential.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What else we got in here? All right. There's that. There's this. That's, we talked, we finally got, the fart talk. Okay. I do want to talk about this though. Okay. Obviously last week I told you Hot Drummer News Babe was going to be on the show this week. And, obviously she's not. We had Dylan, and, they don't match up. I'll take Hot Drummer News Babe any day, but Dylan was fun. Thank you, Dylan, for coming on. We were going to talk Game of Thrones. Well, as it turns out, Hot Drummer News Babe forgot that she had made plans and isn't able to make the show. And that's fine, because you know what? I don't want to talk Game of Thrones this season.
Oh, that's the only reason I'm here tonight.
Fuck, I'm sorry. But the season was a complete disappointment, and everything was fine except the writing. Okay, that's done. I did want to talk about this though. Why? I was thinking about this, drive-in today. The people who get like wrapped up in a show or in a movie or a series or a game, and I'm thinking, where does that come from? And what do I have in my life that I get so wrapped up in those things? And, why does this last season of Game of Thrones bother me so much? And I started thinking about the story. Okay. So Game of Thrones started in, I believe it was 2011. It was the same year that Fit moved back to Connecticut. And, Fit, we found each other through email again. We got together, we had sushi, and, we started to hang out a little bit. Before we started to hang out though, Game of Thrones was playing on HBO. And I texted him and I said, hey man, I don't know if you watch HBO or not, but you should check out this show called Game of Thrones. It's pretty awesome. It's like a fantasy show in a weird fantasy medieval type setting. And he's like, oh, totally, dude. I'm watching it. In fact, there's a book series about it and I'm going to a signing for the new book in a couple weeks. And I said, what? There's a book series? This isn't original content. This is a book. So that's where it started for me. That's where I actually stayed invested in the show because Fit and I would talk about it and he would tell me things that happened in the book and we compared how they happened on the show. And I didn't read the books until 2015, 2016, but it was something for us to talk about and bond over. And I always had a good time learning from him about the books. And it was always funny. It's like he would stress some minor details of the books that to me sounded so important because I hadn't read them yet. As it turns out, when I read them in the books, I'm like, this is like one page of something. He's freaking out over this. Is crazy. So we like talking Game of Thrones. Season 2 rolls around and I'm doing Torn Think Tank and we get to episode 4 and season 2 is about to end. And we're thinking, you know what? We should do a Game of Thrones recap. Ray, did you listen to the Game of Thrones episode? It was episode 4-ish. You probably don't remember. Yeah. And so I hosted, I had Jules, I had Arcane and Fit. We were all on the podcast and I had like a Game of Thrones roundtable and it was a lot of fun. And so that's how A Pod of Ice and Fire was born. We did that. That's when they created the Storm Ride Network. So we got to, end of 2012, 2013, whatever it was. And Fit and I were doing podcasts on the Pod of Ice and Fire about season 3 of Game of Thrones. And I'd sit there watching the show and I try to take notes and I realize I'm taking notes, but I'm not paying attention to the episode. And we would record our podcast right after the show aired. And season 3 was a blast. And I loved spoiling the show. I loved asking him questions and having him answer and like, oh, spoilers, everybody. And then Tyrion kills his father in the books. That hadn't happened yet. And then season 4 came along and that's when they started to deviate a little bit. When they first showed the Night King and Craster's baby and Fit was just up in arms. They broke the books because they started doing material that wasn't in the books.
Did they ever?
Yeah. And I also started adding people to the show, which I never should have done because it became less about the Game of Thrones and more about the show we were doing. And then Fit left that one. Cause we had a falling out over an episode. I asked him for a news article and he didn't have it ready. So I started reading it and he decided, so you can do it from now on. I'm done. And that was it. And then from one last Pod of Ice and Fire, it was, I think season 5. I talked him into doing one more episode and we had Hot Drummer Newsbabe on with us to talk about, the books and the upcoming season and everything. So, that's why the ending was so disappointing for me because I had invested not just my time in watching the show, but my time in talking about the show and creating content about the show, and, I just wanted to share that and get a little REM time here in the podcast, Ray.
The only Game of Thrones thing I'll say is that Daenerys isn't actually crazy. So my love for her is unwavering. She was manipulated by Bran to do everything.
Yep.
So she's still my queen.
God, can you imagine if they actually wrote that and it's like someone like Jorah was the person who had to kill Daenerys? I mean, god damn, they could have just fucked everybody up emotionally at the end of this season, but nope. Okay. We have a new segment. We have a few minutes left here. Dick tips. Ray, you need to create a bumper and a song for this, but dick tips. Go ahead. Tell me about dick tips and let's get going.
So what was that? Maybe a couple months ago, I posted something on Twitter, made a pasta shitstorm where I said something about, are you supposed to was it like break your pasta, like the spaghetti in half before you boil it, or do you put it in a hole?
You pissed Chris O.C. off.
I know. Yeah, you guys were fucking mad. You pasta elitist motherfuckers. Holy shit, you guys were crazy. So apparently you're not supposed to break the pasta in half because, it's not going to taste like pasta anymore.
You don't break the pasta in half, Ray.
Why? What does it even matter?
You're an asshole, Ray.
Like, I got little kids. They don't need 16-inch long freaking pasta noodles. They got tiny little mouths. They're going to choke on that.
You're not cooking for kids, Ray. You're cooking for adults. You have to remember that. Okay. Stop being an asshole. All right. And just
actually, I don't make spaghetti very often, but yeah. No. So basically as that all happened anyway. So the other night I was telling you, I was like, you'll be proud of me. I didn't break the pasta in half. I boiled it whole. So, but every time I make any sort of pasta, especially like spaghetti, it expands, right? As it soaks up some of the water. So I always make the wrong amount. No matter what I do, we have this my wife got this thing. I never use it. And might be part of the problem. But this little thing that has little, like holes in it, like this, it's like a measuring thing.
Right.
So
what's the fucking question? My God.
So every time we have this, it doesn't fucking work. And you always have the wrong amount. Always the wrong amount. So how do you actually measure the correct amount of pasta?
All right. So Dick Tips is a segment where we're going to give tips on things that we're experts in. And you racist asshole think I'm an expert in cooking pasta because I have some Italian in me. All right. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker. But how do you measure the correct amount of pasta? Well, spaghetti, linguine, anything long and thin like that is very easy to measure. A handful a person. So you grab a handful and not like the whole thing that you can fit in your hand, like a reasonable handful. And that's each person. And, one box of spaghetti is typically enough for 4 or 5 people. As for your bow ties, your cavatelli, your rotini, your ziti, your penne, I don't know. If you, maybe a box for 4, right? So if you have 4 people you're feeding, you put a box in and you go from there.
Really?
Yeah.
Because those boxes, they're like 1 pound or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Because I think that's a little too much for us. Maybe I need to do like 3/4 of the box.
Well, you're also a very healthy person who runs and watches his figure and stuff. So you probably don't eat as much as a slob like me.
No, I eat a lot. I eat an insane amount.
When Huel comes out here one weekend for a big Italian Rem family dinner, you should come too. You should just abandon your family and come.
Oh, yes. Let's do it. Do it. And then you can show me the tips on making pasta and pasta sauce. That's what I'd like to actually. I think you said there's on the site there's a pasta sauce recipe.
Yeah, my Mama Rem posted a recipe for sauce on richdickman.com. It's she did it last year sometime and she quit doing her domestic diva blog. But she was newly retired and looking for things to do. And now she discovered that laying around and reading a book is better than looking for things to do. So that's what she does.
I can understand that. Well, yeah, but as soon as I get through all the pasta that we have already, I'll have to actually look at making pasta. So I actually, it's fun talking about food. So I just made carnitas last night. And man, that turned out good. Made some of those burritos for lunch today. I made a burrito. Nice. It's kind of like a Chipotle style. Yeah. You basically get the rice, the beans, put it all in there.
I've never been to Chipotle.
Oh man.
Never been.
What?
Yeah, I know.
How?
I've never been to Chipotle.
What the fuck? What is this? This is like more weird than me not being able to smell.
They are.
Like, what the fuck?
They are building a new one in Crackerberry Junction, so I should have more of an opportunity to go. There isn't really one close to me, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but now that I work in a larger city, I have access to more restaurants, like a Chick-Fil-A, which is fucking great. Fucking love Chick-Fil-A. All right. Before we go, Ray, do you want me to riff on something out of nowhere and see how good I can do? Because I'm in that kind of mood.
Yes, let's do it.
You got to give me something though.
All right. Let's riff on. Let's see. You want like a setting? Is that what you're looking for?
Give me something to complain about or yell about or talk about.
Oh, to complain about?
I don't know.
All right. How about Chick-fil-A being closed on Sundays?
I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome that Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays because you know what? How many people in that industry actually get Sundays off with their family? Fucking zero. 0 people get that day off because it's a busy day. But Chick-fil-A has the balls and the care for their employees to say, you know what? Take Sundays off. Go home. Enjoy your family. It's a blessed day. All right. Whether you celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ or not, go home and enjoy the day. Right. They even do not serve their food on Sunday, football Sundays in the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, which is fucking crazy. So Chick-fil-A is a wonderful company and I'm glad they're closed on Sundays. You know what? I don't need I don't need Chick-fil-A on Sundays, Ray. There's 6 other days of the 7 days of the week where I can go and get delicious chicken sandwiches. I don't need it on Sunday. And you know what? It might be better for me to sit home and make those chicken sandwiches with my kids, with my wife, and spend time with them, doing things together as a family. So there you go.
You could take them all to Chick-fil-A and still spend time together as a family. Plus, whenever... So, like, there's not really any Chick-fil-A's near me. So, there's one actually... The only... there's the closest ones are like 20, 30 minutes away. I got to drive to get to them, right? There is one right around... So, I live in a town with 50,000 people. My parents live in a town with like 12,000 people, and they have a fucking Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm pissed at Chick-fil-A. Their food's good, but get one in my fucking town, man. So, every time... Okay, because my parents live about an hour away, we can usually only make it up to my parents on the weekends, right? Which means we often go on Sundays, and we're like, yeah, we're going to be driving by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's more your fault than Chick-fil-A's fault, though.
And we literally drive like 100 feet from it, too. And we're like staring at it like, oh, it'd be nice.
That's sad. Ray, I forgot to do this at the beginning of the show, but let's tell our audience that if they want to look like us and look cool, go to Amazon.com and search Rich Dickman. Get yourself one of our fabulous t-shirts. Eat the Rich, El Abogado, Attorney at Law. I wore that to Money in the Bank with my father last Sunday. Oh, I didn't even talk about that.
Oh, nice.
Shit, I had time. My father and Chris O.C. spent time together. My father couldn't help but say to me, my God, he has a filthy mouth. Because Chris O.C. does not stop swearing no matter who's around. We started up in the 200s, and we had, it was a decent view. And Chris O.C. went with his cousin, and they had 2 extra tickets because they had 2 people who were supposed to come who couldn't come. And he sold those tickets on StubHub right before the show started. But at 9:00, Chris O.C. texts me and says, hey, dude, these people haven't showed up yet. Do you want to come down? So at 9:00, my father and I, for the last hour and a half of the pay-per-view, were down on the floor to watch some Money in the Bank. And I kind of wish we hadn't moved. It was very uncomfortable and you couldn't see much. But it was really cool to be down next to my buddy, And he swore a lot. He was yelling at wrestlers, and my father was kind of embarrassed to be near him. But that's maybe more my father's issue than anything else. Though there were like very young kids sitting around us, and Chris O.C. just like swearing left and right, like, you motherfucker, fuck you, you fucking cocksucker, goddamn you motherfucking, I hope you fucking die. And my dad's looking at him like, oh my gosh, that's interesting. And there's like little kids sitting around us, being like, please sit down. Please sit down.
That reminds me of when the Niners and the Ravens played in the Super Bowl. That was at the Superdome down in New Orleans, and the power went out.
Yeah.
So, it's being in California, I have obviously a lot of people in this area that are either Niners or Raiders fans. So it was at my in-laws' house. They had the Super Bowl party. So we go over there, and at the time I had started working with them, and my wife, it got so bad with me talking so much shit about the Niners because I'm a Arizona Cardinals fan, which is in the same division, so we're rivals with the Niners. I was just literally talking shit the whole time. And not like I liked the Ravens. I was just talking shit so bad that at one point my wife was like, they're going to fire you. Like, you're family, but they're going to fire you. And one of my in-laws, even at some point, like probably in like the 3rd or 4th quarter, was like, how about you try rooting for a team instead of just against a team? Like, you're awful. And I think I drank like a whole 12-pack that night or something like that. But the whole time I was just talking shit. And the reason why, it's all started because my grandmother-in-law, she literally, at the time, Colin Kaepernick was her quarterback. She's like, we have the best quarterback ever
fuck you.
in the history of the game.
Grandma.
And I was like, you do realize Joe Montana was a 49er, right? Like, I was like, you're the fucking stupidest person I've ever met. Like, you don't know anything about football. You can't even make these claims. And I'm like yelling, right? I'm like, you're fucking stupid. And just fucking, it was, that's a good time.
Ray,
yelling about sports.
How do we follow you on social media, Ray?
At Jules Winfeld on Twitter. I do twitch.tv/Jules Winfeld whenever I stream, which hasn't been a lot lately, but I'll try and get on every once in a while. Maybe once or twice a week. That's really it.
Soon it'll be twitch.tv/Rich Dickman Show. You can go on there now and watch me edit last week's episode. I might do it again this week. I don't know. You can follow me on Twitter.
No, I deleted it. You said,
you did?
At the time, you said delete it later that night. Yeah, so I deleted it later that night.
Ray, I have a hard time remembering a lot of things. Yes. Maybe we'll do it again this week.
Yeah, and I actually, right before the show, I got it almost fully set up to be able to stream. So whenever we got some time to actually dial that in, we're pretty close to actually having that ready.
Maybe next week. We will do it next week. I got to look pretty though. Follow me on Twitter at Remgar, REMGHAR. You can follow my mother at Rem_Mama. Thank you. You can follow producer Ryan at RyanTRDS, and you can follow Randy at Sir0 with an E. Go to richdickman.com for all your Rich Dickman needs. My mouth is getting really saliva-y tonight, so let me take another drink. You know what? This grape burrito, not that bad. It actually isn't that bad.
That sounds way better than this shit.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I do not want to be alive tomorrow when this finally works its way through the system.
If you have a friend who's looking for something to listen to during the week, tell them about the Rich Dickman Show. richdickman.com and all your podcast apps everywhere, I think. Ryan, look into that. I think we're definitely not on Google though. So I said, hey Google, play the Rich Dickman Show. And then she played some bullshit that wasn't the Rich Dickman Show. Thanks guys for listening. We'll be back next week. I'm gonna try to get Matt on so Matt and Ray can yell at each other. Maybe get Hot Drum and Meat in sometime. Yellfest. We do lots of yelling. I love you all.
Yellfest 2019.
Thank you for listening. Good night.
Seriously, this shit tastes like shit. It's so nasty. Oh my God.
How do you know what shit tastes like? Have you tasted shit?
God damn it. This is seriously so
like you look like you're gonna throw up right now. It's really, I'm sorry.
Did you see me making all the faces? It's like I smelled a fart. If the same face that people make when I fart.
That's like when we did the Michelada episode.
God.
Like Fit just, that's when he's like, you know what? This is supposed to be about the liquor, not about being a joke.
Well, this one says it has with the refreshing flavors, fuck you, of tomato, salt, lime, tamarind, and chipotle peppers.
A Michelada is clam juice and tomato juice mixed in beer. There's no fucking way it could be good ever unless you like clams and tomatoes in beer.
I like clams.
I do too.
Tomatoes.
I thought it tasted like Manhattan clam chowder. All right, Ray.
This other one, the mango one. Let's see what it has in it.
That's it.
Quick here.
Stop your recording.
Whatever.
Stop it.